Beth Ann.
And it is my privilege, it's my pleasure to be here with you today. Happy New Year. Today, the party is over. And the work for a new year begins. Most of us look forward to a fresh start, a clean slate. But I'm afraid this slate is not so clean. At least not when we're talking about this nation, our nation, the United States of America. I went out to eat one night a little more than a week ago after the kids' Christmas program at church. And when we were leaving the restaurant, I told the waitress, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. She was young, probably college age, and she turned around and looked at me. Yes, a Happy New Year and maybe some peace, please, in this nation. She then began to apologize. She said, I don't get into politics. I don't like to talk politics. And I kind of gave her a little crooked grin, and I motioned to her to come over to me. And I handed her my card, and I chuckled. Well, you're talking to the right person. She says, really? And she wanted to know where she could hear me, and I gave her the local station there in Fulton, Missouri, which is the closest for her. And I told her you could download the apps because she has the iPhone, and she was going to try and listen. I don't know which, if any, side she was on, but she mentioned we need to use some common sense. Now that's encouraging, isn't it? We tend to make New Year's resolutions for ourselves, trying to be a better me, maybe a thinner me, a healthier me, more efficient me. Well, that's all well and good, even though we might break those New Year's resolutions. It's good to have goals, to want to improve. The reason we fail is usually we lack a plan. So how about we have a thinner nation? Less government, a healthier nation, less corruption, a more efficient nation, more constitutionality, and less bureaucracy. A new year is a time of reflection, hope for self-examination, not to beat yourself up, but to encourage yourself and to be determined. How badly do you want those things, those changes you vowed to improve in your life? Last Friday, CSC Talk Radio celebrated 2,000 shows. You've been with me every step of the way. You've heard me cry, literally. You've heard me laugh. You've heard me get stern and worked up. I hope you've done the same right along with me. You were there when I lost my mom. You were there when a lot of things were challenging here. I've been meeting with a group. It's a free service to consult with struggling and new businesses. And I'm going to throw this out to you because a week ago when I met with them, they suggested I throw this out to my family. But who knows best than my listening family? A suggestion they had was to find a catchphrase that defines me. That will be my brand. What makes you different, they ask, than any other talk show host? So, send me your thoughts on that. What do you think? Could you get a little catchphrase that you think would brand Beth Ann? Post Office Box 73, California, Missouri 65018. That's Post Office Box 73, California, Missouri 65018. It has to be a short catchphrase. So I love your brag letters, but can you define me in a short catchphrase? Just define CSC Talk Radio. One suggestion they threw out was the voice, what do they call it? The Rural America Voice of Choice, which I liked, except when you use the word choice these days, it's more like a pro-choice, and we know that we're pro-life, not pro-choice. So anyway, I'm just throwing that out there because I think that you are my family that knows me best in that way. I am throwing it out to some of my kiddos that come up with pretty good stuff every once in a while. But I'm still determined and I'm still dedicated to bringing America home. Are you? If we were to put ourselves, our personal resolutions aside, what would be your resolution as a patriot? What would you pledge and plan to do this year to make you a better American? To help secure liberty, to guard freedom and independence from for the next generations. You can't do it all. What would you do? What would be your particular issue you'd be willing to fight for, to take action for? Would it be abortion? Would it be the drug crisis? Would it be the immigration crisis? Would it be our economy? Would it be morality in general? Would it be our homeless? Would it be our veterans? Would it be putting God back into this nation? Because we've been apathetic, distracted, and overworked, and I still believe this is all by design, I still stand that Congress is the greatest threat to your liberty, to the freedoms of your children, your grandchildren, and our future generations of Americans, just like that young girl in the restaurant. Congress leads with an authoritarian attitude. They believe themselves to be superior over you. When President Trump was running for president, he told Paul Ryan, "There will be a wall," and he kind of pointed at him, "There will be a wall. I just can't get this out of my head." And Ryan stood there with his hands folded and shook his hand. No wall. Who won? Ryan is now out. Will we get the wall? Ryan's denial was not standing alone. He had Democrats and Republicans at his side. They ignore the wishes of the people, we the people. So let us start right here on CSC Talk Radio. Make this the true year of the patriot. You stand, you pledge, you start getting active. Even if you can't run for an office, you can support another good man or woman. You can make phone calls. You can take representatives and senators or mayors or your alderman or your sheriff to lunch or to coffee. You can get on your knees, sit in your lazy boy or at your table and pray for this nation. You could host a prayer vigil in your home. Wow. A new awakening in America. Wouldn't that be amazing? Patriots of long ago were no different than you and no different than I am. They struggled. They had families. They had debt. They had needs. They had health issues. But they were dedicated and determined to fight for a better future for all. We are at that point now. The cycle is nearly complete. From bondage to spiritual faith, from spiritual faith to great courage, from courage to liberty, from liberty to abundance, from abundance to complacency, from complacency to apathy, from apathy to dependence, from dependence back into bondage. So if this cycle is complete or nearly complete, isn't it time for us to grab hold of our spiritual faith on our knees in 2019 to bring America home and to bring Americans home? You're listening to CSC Talk Radio. It is New Year's Day 2019. Let's make it the year of the Patriot. And we will be right back.